So I don't know if you've noticed, but this wonderful game has a major problem, and that is inventory. Specifically tool inventory. There's just too many tools that you might want to use at one time and have on your hotbar, then there's space in the hotbar. I mean, like, look at all these things that we may want to use, like ladders, ender pearls, spyglass, water bucket, not command blocks, shears, trident, like, so we're gonna be prototyping a solution to this today that may help fix the inventory problem. So one quick fix for both the regular inventory and the hotbar would just be to add more inventory slots. But if you add, like, say, a double chest to your regular inventory, it starts getting unwieldy really fast. Like, if you have, like, I already forget what items I have in here half the time, and then you, like, talk about trying to move a double chest worth of items around and, like, trying to organize those and stuff. Like, it becomes unwieldy and too much. So we're going to be looking for a different solution today. And in addition, we're going to be looking for something with a bit of a trade-off, or as Sakurai, the creator of Smash Bros, puts it, something with risk and reward. So an example of this in default Minecraft is actually in the shulker box that I left down in the main base. Ah, yeah, here we go. So there is a risk reward for either a chest plate, which gives you more defense, or elytra, which gives you more mobility. So you're risking the defense for the mobility if you put the elytra on, and you're risking the mobility in exchange for the defense if you put the chest plate on. So that's like a really simple example of risk reward. And that's that's the principle we're going to try to use when we make this tool belt or whatever it's going to be. And one simple way to do this would be to have like an offsite chest. Oh, I thought this was full. We'll just make another one. An offsite chest that would store some of the tool items. So basically, like, the current hotbar would go in, and then it would swap to our secondary hotbar. And so effectively we're risking all these items. We can't use any of these items right now. They're not in our regular inventory. They're elsewhere, like where we can't access them unless we swap the hotbar back. And then when we're ready for the other hotbar, we can swap it again. It's very annoying to do manually. But yeah, we would swap back to the other hotbar, and now we're risking all the items that was in the second hotbar. And so we kind of just swap between those and sort of exchange the use of the tools for convenience. We'll probably have to refine the trade-off further, but for now, let's just test if this is even possible in command block survival. That's what this is, by the way. Vanilla and command blocks, but all the command blocks have a price. Anywho, let's just try this command. So there's a command that can store inventory sort of in the cloud, and it's this thing called storage. And so we can just call the storage whatever we want. So we could just call it tool belt for now. And it's this thing called storage. It's kind of like cloud storage. It's basically that chest that we had. It's this. So we can call it whatever we want. We'll just call it tool belt, I guess. And then we can get the information from our player inventory, basically. So at P is us, basically. And then we just have to say inventory, which may or may not work. But we'll see what that does. All right, so let's just poke a button. Oops. I forget you don't have to shift when you're in creative mode. I mean, survival mode. Can't right click on the command block. So we'll click this button and let's just look at the storage. Storage Minecraft tool belt has the following contents. Nothing. Hey, wait a second. Haha, there it is. Okay, so this gives us the entire inventory. So we'll just limit it to one slot, which I think this does it. Yeah, here we go. So now it only is using the slot 0, which is the netherite hoe. So it's just storing this item. What we need to test though is if it comes back the other way. So we have it stored in the cloud. Effectively, the netherite hoe is stored in here, but do we have the ability to bring it back? Basically, all we need to do is run this command in reverse. So, you know, we just take the batteries out and switch them backwards. The trouble is, I'm almost certain that you can't modify the player's inventory. But I'm not sure if that limitation extends to this command. Okay, well, there's the batteries flipped upside down. I guess we make another button. Sure, why not? It's not like I have a million buttons already. Oh yeah, I don't need to do that. And, you know, this actually has the potential of deleting my entire inventory, right? You know, maybe we put some of this stuff away. You know, it's probably a good thing I just remembered that. We'll leave the cooked cod, so if it deletes stuff, we can actually see. But what this should do is put a netherite hoe into the first slot. Okay. Ah, there it is. Unable to modify player data. Okay, so we hit our first limitation. Well, cloud storage would have been a very clean solution, but there is a messy solution that we can do. And I was intending to use it anyway because it has a better risk reward. And that would be the bundle. Now, the bundle actually technically exists in the game. The crafting recipe isn't in because they haven't finished it yet, although I think it's coming out in 1.20, so soon. But we could make a special bundle that could store... Oh, it'd have to be a really special bundle. It can only store one tool. I was thinking about having it store all of the tools, and then it's like in your offhand slot. So that'd be another trade-off. Is it takes up your offhand, and if we like die or something, and all of our items splat on the ground, you know, then all of our other tools are still at risk, right? Like in cloud storage, the tools would not have been at risk, but like if we die, everything drops, including our second tool belt. So that I think would be a pretty good trade-off. But once again, to get this to work, we're going to have to use commands. So let's just try putting like, oh, you know what? I don't actually know the syntax of this. Let me just put some random stuff in. This is what I do when I'm trying to learn like how stuff works. I just data get, but pretty much just do that. And then I can just pick it up and look at the things and be like, oh, that's how it works. That is what the syntax is. I understand. So we'll get rid of these cheated in bundles later, and we'll put in like a recipe, or maybe we'll have a recipe, the recipe be normal and like an enchant. Well, anyway, all we really need to do to prove that this works is slap 2 stone swords in it. Okay. Gave bundle. Oh! Proof of concept is successful. Okay, because the idea would be like we trigger it by having it in our offhand, and then we empty it, and then as soon as it detects the empty bundle in our offhand, it would fill with the tools. And it looks like they exit it perfectly fine. Oh, ho, 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 ho. We have something that works. Now, technically, the issue is the bundle is in our inventory, right? So it's not able to be modified. But there is one way that you can modify, and it's limited and wouldn't have worked with the cloud storage, but it probably would work with a bundle. So we can actually use the item command and modify... Uh-oh. Which slot is it? Oh wait, I think they have, I think it's like weapon offhand, which is convenient because I think the number of the inventory slot is like -103 or something. It's weird. So yeah. Oh wait. So these things that you're seeing, they're other item modifiers, which I was kind of hoping we could just merge NBT from our inventory, but we may need to make one of these things. I don't remember if they can do what we need them to do. I do believe it's possible. Okay, so I just made a item modifier, which, oops, should show up. I have to sprint to, there we go. It should show up in here. Tool belt. You'll notice the item modifiers are all the same as these. I literally just copied the data pack to make it, but it looks like the one that I want isn't showing up. May mean it's misformatted? Well, that has easily got to be the weirdest error in existence. I don't even know if I could explain it. Okay, so we have the item modifier now. So we can give it a test. I have a hunch it's not going to work the way that we expect. Wait, I have buttons. What should happen is it should replace the iron and the wood with the scaffolding, but it's probably going to replace it with something random. Ooh, that's working. Okay, let's give the append function a test because we want to be able to put all of the hotbar items, not just one. So if this works, oh. Yes! Okay, so we can append as many of these as we want. Oh, yes. Oh, look at that. That's exactly what I wanted it to look like too. You can see your whole hotbar. It's still contained on you, and you can sort of like collect it really easy. Oh my. That might be annoying actually, is, you know, if we clear out the whole hotbar and then we have to replace everything. Oh, I need to keep track of which of these are cheesed items, you know? And for the final test with the bundle, we're gonna try and put the whole hotbar in it with one command, which would be really nice in terms of lag and whatnot. Ooh, wait, I need to reload. I could just throw it away. I always change the thing and then forget to reload. Okay, so this should put the whole hotbar in there. I'm curious what it's gonna do with this empty slot, actually. Would you look at that? Okay, so it doesn't have an empty slot in it, which makes a lot of sense, really. That's really, really cool. So now we need to be able to, once we get all the items in our tool bag, we have to clear the other ones because we don't want to duplicate the items. That's just dumb. So there is there's a clear command, but it doesn't actually allow you to target slots. It lets you target types of items, which is what these are. So you can target like all types of arrows or all banners or something. And you can say how many you want, but you can't say slot 1. It doesn't accept that. But we may be able to put that in this little file. This is going to be a powerful little file. I was so close. It's not actually this file that we need. We need this command. This item command is quite powerful. I think if we do container 0, wait, no, there's hotbar somewhere. Yeah, hotbar, okay. So we can limit it to the hotbar, which is good. And we'll replace it with air. Oh, you know what? We should probably replace 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, slot 4. Ah, that works. Okay, so we just gotta chain a bunch of those commands together. We'll just put that command in here for now. we'll have that be chain command. So that way, if we have, you know, a stone sword, let's empty the bundle. It's kind of satisfying. But now, if you just look at the stone sword, it copies everything. So the stone sword is in here, but the item has been cleared. And so we just got to do that for each slot. So that's really good news, is what that is. Is this gonna... that might get annoying. Okay, if I set this up correctly, then we should name this to Toolbag, and then we can actually right-click and trigger the whole shebang. So on to triggering it. Now, normally all I would do is just have an advancement test for the right-click, but apparently that doesn't trigger things. I don't know why. So what I did is I have it check for this in the offhand, and then if the player is sneaking. And I think that that triggers everything, but before we do that, let's maybe put the valuable things away. And we'll just put the test stuff here. All right. I think this should work if I shift. Hmm? Ho ho! Ho 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 ho! And so now if we put other stuff in our hotbar, sort of the way it switches between, I think, as in I hope that it works this way, is we toss the other items out, shift, and then we pick these back up. Now you can see kind of the issue with this. The order is all fuzzy, I think. Actually, maybe we should check that. Shield, coal, logs, ladder. Shield, coal, logs, ladder. Yeah, okay. So the order is just wonky. The order is perfect in the tool bag. So after fiddling around with this a little bit, I've found some interesting behavior. So note the order here. We have the torches at the end, the crossbow kind of 3 from the end, and the flint and steel at the beginning. We'll just keep track of those. If you can keep track of all of them, good job. But if we toss this on the ground and just go to the close edge. Oh. Okay, wait, that's even a different result. So then you need to go a little bit further in than the close edge. Okay, so this is even more precise than I knew. Yeah, so I gotta put everything back to where it was. There we go. I've done this a few times, so that's that's why I know where everything goes. But if we kind of go more, yeah, look, that's the exact order. If we sort of sit on the front edge before the pickup like actually happens, everything goes back in the correct order. But we have to go on the close edge, and we have to do it before the pickup happens. And apparently if we go too far in or if we change the angle somehow, it just, everything gets all messed up. So it really matters if you're standing on the items on the close edge. So maybe the strat is like, you toss it down. Oh, oh ho ho, this might be a consistent method. Oh yeah, okay, that's looking good. So we need to make a crafting recipe for this, and we can just use like the default one that they're gonna add, which requires rabbit leather. And I have none, not a single bit of rabbit leather. So we're gonna have to go find some. I honestly have no idea how hard it is to kill a rabbit. I've never actually like, well, I missed. And that's my only arrow. I've tried to tame them many times. Oh, it's just one shot. Oh, rabbit hide, not rabbit leather. All right, then. Oh, 4 that time. I guess it does get affected by looting 3. So, because this bundle was cheated for, we need a good way of removing it. Load up. Hey, there it is. Okay, so we have, I believe, enough rabbit hide from actually just 2 rabbits, which is not too bad. to make the bundle. All right, we need some string as well, just 2. Hopefully 1 spider is enough with a looting sword. 4, hey, what do you know? So this is a really, really old village. I didn't have enough stuff for fences, so I dug a pit around so that the zombies couldn't get them. It actually seems to be doing all right. There must be a farmer villager here or something. Anywho, the recipe, if I copied it correctly, is this. Although crafting recipes are really easy to change. It could just as easily be this. Or this. Or even some like weird diagonal setup like that. But we'll stick with the default. Alright, so now we got a legit bundle that has actually been traded for items. So we can actually use this fairly. So the key to turning it into the tool bag is literally just naming it tool bag. And now we have a fully legit bag crafted and named by us. So now we can put it to the test. And my idea, oops, didn't mean to leave the dirt in there, would be to test it in like a mining environment. Like let's say you have, you have a fortune pick and you have a silk touch pick and you're kind of swapping between the two. There's like lava and stuff in caves. And so these 2 picks will sort of be the representations of the 2 hotbars. And just for funsies, we can put, other stuff on the hotbars as well. Maybe an alternate crossbow. And sort of an alternate transportation. Wait, this doesn't even have Riptide? What? Well, we have the ender pearls anyway. So, yeah, let's go try it out in a real, quote unquote, world scenario. Do we have an ender chest? Okay, we do. Now, believe it or not, I haven't actually done that much cave exploration underneath my base here. In the deep slate areas, that is. I've done quite a bit above where bedrock used to be. But down here, I think I've lit the area up. I put beacons and then didn't really do much beyond that. So this can be our test area. And let's just put in the first hotbar. Yes, I'm putting the food on one of the hotbars, so we'll have to like swap between the 2. So this should be interesting. We'll have to be careful not to just right-click our items into lava. Because when we right-click, the bundle just chucks them. So, dude, I'm like putting my finger like off of right-click. This is kind of risky, actually. And, oh, we need... Okay, so this is interesting. So we need blocks to pillar up, and that's on the other hotbar. So... Okay. Why are the blocks wood? Let's change that. Oh, okay. We're going to toss them onto the pillared up stack. Oh wait, I gotta switch to a thing that I can right click with. So it gives you a little bit of time to, oh, whoops. It gives you a little bit of time to like swap stuff. So like when you toss it out, you still have to press shift to store the hotbar. So it's actually kind of nice to have that like little bit of time. Okay, this cave is a straight bust. That's why I never explored it. There's nothing to explore. I pretty much just put torches in all the corners and there's just nothing. However, I'm pretty sure there's some caves down here. Oh, nice, nice redstone. Get the fortune pick. Okay, I'm actually really starting to like that. That's a good sign for the prototype. Because the prototype's a little, you know, unpolished and stuff. So if it's actually nice to use even in a prototyped state, that's promising. Aha! I hear noises of mobs. Okay. I knew there was a cave around here. I just couldn't remember where it was. It's been a while since I've been down here. Aha! You know, one thing I've noticed... Oh, this is a cave, all right. Oh, yeah, I heard the skeleton, too. One thing I've noticed about the whole switching is you don't really want to do it, like, in the middle. Oh, in the middle of anything. Ho, 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 ho. because like that delay while it's waiting to be picked up is fairly long, and so you don't really want to be like you know, if you're fighting something, you don't really want to be switching. If you're I think that's actually why it's a good idea to have like a crossbow. Whoops. A crossbow on both hotbars. Because that way it's like you do have at least some way to defend yourself on either setup. Look at that. I always need redstone. Because we use redstone in the command block survival world to craft command blocks, actually. So, should be very useful. You'll notice I haven't actually messed up the order at all so far, which is a really, really good sign. So as long as you throw it at your feet, it seems to be a pretty consistent solution, which is really good news. It's also way easier to throw it at your feet, like anywhere you are, and like without throwing it into lava or anything. Although it is definitely concerning. You're basically holding a launcher with a bunch of your valuable items that you could accidentally press at any moment. So it is still, you know, somewhat concerning. And in case you haven't checked already, I mean, the prototype data pack is in the description. So you can download it and put it into your world. Just don't forget to name the tool or the bundle into Toolbag. Otherwise it does absolutely nothing. Oh, okay, so that's the first scenario where I misclicked. Okay, perfect. Oh boy. So I'm gonna have to remake one of my hotbars, which is interesting. You'll notice how if there's any empty spaces in the hotbar, the whole hotbar shifts. So that's something to keep in mind. And presumably it's fairly easy to shift it back. Then we can do 1, 2, and then it's back. So as long as you're not like, oh, I did it again. What a bummer. Oh, it's worse when it gets like flung across. Dude, the torches are kind of risky apparently. That's been the problem both times. Okay, so let's store these. And we get all the items back. Interesting, interesting. Imagine if I was placing a torch here. I will say it is super finicky trying to put the hotbar back the way it was. But having this consistent method means that you don't have to do that very often, which definitely helps. I'm really wary of placing torches. This is like questionable. You know, the other thing that we can do, actually, come to think of it, is we can actually just take the tool bag off of our slot, and then if we miss, we're not gonna right click anything. So if we, don't need it for a period of time, that might be a decent strategy. You know what I think the best part is, though? In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, like, if I'm just going around on a day-to-day basis, I honestly don't know that I want my fortune pick on my person at all times. I don't want to lose that. I'm okay with losing a silk touch. But like the fortune pick, I don't know, man. And that's exactly what we're looking for with the whole trade-offs, is like we want it to be something you have to think about. It should be something that you have to like, consider, is this worth the risk? And I think it's achieving that. So yeah, I'm super happy with this. It's a great prototype, I think. But anyway, that's going to do it for this episode of Talon's Oasis. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope that the data pack installs smoothly for you. Once again, don't forget that you need to name it to Toolbag. It's got to be named Toolbag or else nothing happens. So, yeah. And don't forget to throw the items at your feet if you want to keep the hotbar order. But anyway, that's going to be it for me. So, I'll catch you next time. Later, later.